What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another one. Hope all is well. Just going to talk about a few things really quickly. They're saying that Coach Prime is on the hot seat as Warren Sapp and Robert Livingston part ways. So we're going to talk about that. Is Coach Prime on the hot seat? I also heard that he may get fired during the season if he starts out if they start out with a losing record. So I'm going to give my opinions on that. They're saying that Coach Prime may get fired this season, this upcoming season. That's what they're saying, and they're getting prepared for it already. And they're saying that he's on the hot seat. He may get fired. What else? They're saying, it's a bad sign that all these coaches are leaving and different things like that. All right, so we're gonna get into this. So the man right here, that you see right here is we know him growing up as Neon Deion Sanders, Showtime. Now he is Coach Prime. So Coach Prime, in his latest assignment, he's been there. He's going on his fourth season, and we're gonna have to just stop right there for a second. He's going on his fourth season, and now there hasn't been too much improvement since the 2024 season because of the way how things transpired in the beginning. You have to go back to the beginning for a second, guys. How did all this started? Okay, so when he first came in, he had the infamous Louis luggage speech. A lot of players jumped in the portal after that. There's a lot of players that are now in the NFL that jumped in that portal. I don't think he anticipated that happening, or I'm not sure if he told all these players to get in the portal or they all decided to get in the portal. Because I remember a couple of those players at Colorado, they had made a video together before they all jumped in the portal, and I could tell by the way the video was going, and they were kind of talking in code that they were going to hit the portal right before the spring game. Now, I know this happened 3 seasons ago, but why am I talking about it now? Because it's relevant right now. Okay. He didn't tell all those players to hit the portal. He told quite a few to hit the portal though. He did. Because they were rubbed the wrong way during the Louis luggage speech. He said if they let the coaches go, who else you think is next? You. And then he told one player, the player, what about the people on the injured reserve? The people are injured. He said, we're going to keep the ones that's salvageable, and the rest we're going to let go. This rubbed the players and the parents the wrong way, and we're starting to still continue to. He's starting to feel the ripple effects today. The ripple effects are still there. He's come to the point now where yes, they do have to win. They really have to win. Like the talking is over. They really have to win. But I'm going to tell you my point of view on it in a second. But that's where it started because so many of the players left. So he had to have a complete roster turnaround the first season. He had to completely rebuild this squad. But one thing that he had in favor is he had a lot of NFL players that he brought on the team. Travis, Shador, Selman Craig, and a host of others. So he had some NFL players to make up for it. He brought in B.J. Green. He's in the NFL now. The second year he was there, he brought in Chidozie, and he refined the offense. And then 2024 season, I call it the Heisman season. They had a really, really, really good season. But he had the foundational players, and then he brought on the reinforcement players to make it all come together. Now, last season, he didn't have that. He didn't have that last season. You don't hear about any Colorado players in the NFL Combine this year. Okay, that's saying a lot, guys. You don't hear about any. The only Colorado player, the former Colorado player that's in the Combine, is Colton Hood, and he's not even there anymore. Okay, he's not even there anymore. But he's the only player that you could kind of mention Colorado because he played under Coach Prime for 1 year. Is Colton Hood. He's in the NFL Combine, but no current Colorado players from last season is in the NFL Combine. So he didn't really have the marquee future NFL players that he had in 2024. He has to rebuild that. Now you might say, well, he did have an NFL player last year, but yeah, he moved on to LSU now. Jordan Seaton, he moved on. So now here we are now. He has a complete roster overhaul again. What do you think their record going to be this upcoming season? That's my question to you. Just asking you. Now, let me ask you this. If they do have a losing record, is it going to continue to the second year? I don't think so, but I don't think they're going to give him that opportunity. I don't know. Maybe they will. Um, but I think this is going to be a 2-season turnaround here because he had a complete roster overhaul again. Now, you might say, well, Indiana, it only took them a few years and they had a complete roster overhaul. Yeah, but they didn't have 2 complete roster overhauls. They only had 1. And also with the complete roster overhaul, the coaching and the strategic game planning means a lot. And they didn't really have that at Colorado. Now, I'm hearing things and I'm only getting secondhand information. They said Robert Livingston, the things that he wanted to do was pretty much Coach Prime was overriding that and going with a different situation. And they said he really didn't, his whole game plan that he wanted to implement, he really couldn't do it. Coach Prime was overriding it. And I'm only getting secondhand information. But if that's true, that's kind of, is it Robert Livingston's fault? That's my question to you. I don't know. But I could tell by the way they run practice that Coach Prime really runs that practice. And he does it looks like he does override what some of the coaches are saying. And the only reason why I'm saying that because Coach Prime off the bat said you need to blame me for everything. So I don't know, maybe it's something to that. But also if I was Robert Livingston, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm the defensive coordinator here. You're the head coach. Are you the defensive coordinator? Okay, then you be the defensive coordinator then. I'll take a step down. But if I'm the defensive coordinator, we're going with my game plan. So he really didn't have nobody to stand on it like a rock like that. And I'm gonna tell you something, if it continues for this upcoming season, they're gonna have the same results. Um, he probably gonna have to just let his I don't know. I don't know if it's to be honest with you, I'm not sure what it is because I'm getting secondhand information here. And that's the key, secondhand information. But it did seem like he had a overbearing, not an overbearing, he had the final say in what the schemes were gonna be. And if that's the case, then let me just say this with Robert Livingston. Nobody was talking about Robert Livingston when Travis and them was there. Everybody was giving him props, but then the team he had last year, um, then it all fell apart. Now, my question, it has to be a reason why all this fell apart. Um, did he not know what he was doing? Was things getting, was he being override? Did they override everything that he was trying to do? I'm not sure, but only the inner circle of Colorado, they only know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. But only thing I can say on a positive note is they have a new season. Everybody starts off with the same record, 0-0, and then you can improve upon there. So the good thing about it is they're coming up with a new season. They have a new season coming up. And everything is in the past now. What can you, because football is all about what have you done for me lately anyway. So if it's all about what have you done for me lately, what are they going to do right now? That's the only thing. Are they going to win? What's going on? But it's not a good sign that these coaches are leaving late like this. I could see if they left the beginning of you know, the the break. If I could see if they left at the end of the season, but they're leaving late in the season. There's some players that probably came there to be coached by Coach Sapp or to be coached by Coach Livingston. Now they have a new coaches coming in, so that could be detrimental to the locker room if they don't talk to the players. So I'm sure they got that worked out already. You see what I'm saying? Because if I was there, I want to coach under Coach Sapp, and I hear a lot of people are saying that Coach Sapp is not a good coach and stuff like that, and some people are saying they're glad he's gone. Guys, let me tell you something. Wait to see if Coach Prime have a bad season, what these vloggers and all these people are gonna say. They don't even like Coach Prime there. They're gonna talk about him like a dog if he decides he wants to leave. I'm just telling you this. Coach Sapp wasn't the problem. He came there to help. He was not the problem at all. In fact, I heard he's still gonna come up there. Um, I heard he's still gonna come up there to help out with the team. But a lot of these vloggers, these former players at Colorado and these Colorado faithful vloggers that have been Colorado fans forever, they don't like Coach Prime there. They don't like they would rather for him to get fired right now. But even though he brought relevancy back to the program. And I know what they're saying. Well, he brought relevancy because he's a celebrity, not because of the wins. But the fact of the matter is, he brought relevancy back to Colorado because nobody was really um, checking for Colorado before he got there. So whether you like it or not, he brought relevancy there. If he leaves, y'all going back to where you started before he got there. And I'm just being honest. Now, as far as what do I think they're going to do for this upcoming season, I don't know what the record is going to be, but I know it's going to be a rebuilding record. I don't know if it's going to be a winning record. It's going to be a rebuilding season. With all the, just looking at, Robert Livingston right now. Robert Livingston, he's going to the Denver Broncos. This was a decision that we're not surprised about because he had met with the Dallas Cowboys, so we knew that he was looking for employment elsewhere. So this is not a situation where I'm surprised about, but it still happened late though. Now all the pressure is on Brendan Marion and Chris Marv. So Brendan Marion, Chris Marv. Brendan Marion, Chris Marv. Remember that. It's going to be a lot of pressure on these two. And if I was Coach Prime, I would let these guys do what they got to do. Okay. I will, and I can tell you right now, Coach Prime he's gonna be micromanaging everything. And I don't know if that's gonna work. He's gonna have if he hired these people as the offensive coordinator, let him do his thing. Okay. If you try to override and stuff like that, and you guys start losing, Coach Prime is gonna be on you this year. It's definitely gonna be. It's just gonna fall apart. I would just say let them do their thing. You know what I'm saying? You're the CEO of the organization. You're gonna have to let them do their thing, man. You're gonna let them do their thing, and we'll see. We'll see. Now Chris Marv, he has a lot of pressure on him because this guy coached a Heisman Trophy winner. He did. Now he has that on his resume. He coached a Heisman Trophy winner, even though Travis could have won a Heisman Trophy a lot of places. However, this guy leaving as well, Warren Sapp. This is a huge loss. I don't care what nobody say. Some people, a vlogger made a statement saying he's glad he's gone. No, this is a major loss. As far as I'm concerned, he should have been a defensive coach. He should have been a defensive line coach. Why are you hiring other people as a defensive line coach when you have this guy was one of the best defensive linemen to play the game? He could have left for that reason. We don't know. But I just saw a vlog where they said no, he left to pursue other, you know how they dice it up. He left to pursue other avenues. No, this is a huge loss. I don't care what nobody say. This is a huge loss. You might not think he's a huge loss, but this is a huge loss for me. But then you got Robert Livingston. Whatever, I don't care what nobody say, how you slice it and dice it. He was there for Travis Hunter Heisman Trophy season. And like I said, football is all about what have you done for me lately. That's why some people are saying Coach Prime is on the hot seat. Whether you think he's on the hot seat or not, like I'm being realistic about this. This don't look good. I'm being realistic. I will hope they have an 8-game winning season, but I don't know about this. I just don't know how it's going. But it's a lot of pressure on Brendan Marion and Chris Marv. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Chris Marv, man. Um, to come in but he could, we'll see, to implement a new defense and different things like that. So yeah, it could happen. But but for me, big ups to Warren Sapp for even wanting to come help the kids. Because you have a lot of former NFL players that played at Colorado. They don't even come to help. All they do is sit there and do this. All they sit there and do is run their mouth and be toxic. They don't even come to help. At least he came to help, and he's not even a Colorado alumni, but he came to help though. You know what I'm saying? So you have, of course, I know why this guy's hating. I don't even want to say his name. I already know why he's hating, and I know why he's hating. But shout out to Coach Sapp though, man. I enjoyed him for while he was there, but I heard that he might come there and still help though. So we're gonna see. But Robert Livingston is headed to the Broncos. Robert Livingston is headed to the Broncos. So I wish him the best of luck. But now we got Chris Marv. So we're gonna see what Chris Marv brings to the table. So Coach Prime, I think he'll do a lot better if he have the coaches that are not afraid to stand on it like a rock. Like, listen, coach, let me do my thing, and we going with my whole game plan. You know what I'm saying? I would have liked some of these coaches to bring their coaches in. I would have loved Chris Marr to bring some of his people in. I would have loved for Brendan Marion to also bring some of his people in, but they came by themselves though. But I guess it's all right. But time will tell, guys. Georgia Tech, the first game of the season, will there will be a lot of questions answered when that game comes up. Are they really ready? So we'll see. But the positive thing is everybody starts off the 2026 season with the same record, 0-0. And it's up to you what you do from there. So you got a clean slate, and we'll see what happens, guys. Guys, as always, like, comment, share, subscribe. I will see you on the next video. Take care.